like the last time, please introduce yourself and make a countdown of when to start the time.
Okay. Alright, in that case, hello, I'm back. I'm Leah again. I was just here with Royal Landshaker, and I'm back with Yohane the Parhelion Blaze in the Deep Blue. It is a really long title, so we tend to shorten it to John. And we also say John to refer to the titular character. Just for this run, just because it's so nice and convenient and easy to change the language in this game, I'm going to change the language to German for this run. Ich gebe der deutschen Sprache ein bisschen Liebe. And with that in mind, I'm going to start the run in 3, 2, 1, go. And this time I did actually remember to start my timer. So this game is a Metroidvania. It's based on a spin-off of the Love Live series, which is an anime series. So it's kind of a really obscure game, and it's not really a game that anyone really saw coming. It was actually announced as an April Fool's joke, but it was later confirmed to be real. It's also a fairly recent game, only been out for a bit over a year. This run has there's a lot of luck-based stuff in this run. Sorry, I'm blanking. I had to open those two chests just then to craft my basic weapon, which is a guitar. And for the most part, for the beginning of the run, I'm going to be attacking using both my partner Lilaps and the guitar. I would normally boost through those guys, but I wanted to play a little safe there. What I just got was a musical score. That is a surprise tool that will help us later. In a little bit we'll be coming up on our first set of randomized rooms, which is... they're somewhat of the main event of this game, in the speedrun. So there are 9 sets of these rooms that we go through in the run, and in each one you can have between 2 and 5 rooms to go through, and also the room layouts themselves are randomized. So, you know, of course, ideally you want 2 rooms each time. And the final room will be marked by a golden portal instead of a blue one. Oops. Okay, 3 rooms. Pretty average luck. You know, generally, in runs, you want to reset if you get more than 3 rooms in the first area. And now we're on our first boss, so I'll explain a bit about the combat. So for the most part, at the beginning of the run I'm going to be... oops, got unlucky there. Attacking by alternating between my partner Lilaps and the guitar. As this is the fastest way to attack, because both of them have a cooldown, alternating them essentially skips the cooldown, so you can pretty much attack as fast as possible. And just like that, it's already down. So that was the Sunken Temple, or Versunkene Tempel auf Deutsch. Really not too much going on there, just a little introduction, and from there we rescue our first partner, Chica. We're going to be finding 7 other characters throughout the game. Chica's not very useful, unfortunately, but she does have some niche uses, including in the next area. For now, we're going to be going back to Grotto, which is kind of a... in the run, we kind of just pass through Grotto most of the time. There's not too much that happens here. But we do come back to it a few times. A lot of the time it's faster to just boost through enemies rather than trying to kill them. While I'm here, I'm going to be going out of my way for my first save point. Well, not the first save point I grabbed in the run, there was an unavoidable one earlier, but I'm going to be going out of the way for the first time. Right here. What this essentially does is that I can return there at any point from anywhere in the dungeon, and I can also... It also completely refills my health and the other stat called DP, which DP dictates how much you can attack. Most of your attacks will use up DP, and once you run out of it, you will start losing your health. I'm also going out of my way to break some pots like those at various points. Because they can have various items in them that will be useful for us. For now, we're coming up to our first, one of our only kind of sequence breaks in the run. So we can attack with the guitar repeatedly to stall our falling. Do 16 attacks usually works, and that allows us to reach that earlier than we should be able to, and it actually saves a very considerable amount of time. Actually saves about a minute of backtracking that we'd otherwise have to do. For now, we're on the boss of the ruins, which this boss is actually kind of weird because you fight him 3 times. It's the only boss in the game that's like that, which is pretty weird, but you know, we roll with it. This is one of the only instances in which we use Chica, because Chica can actually stun the boss when it's got its shield up and allow us to attack a lot sooner, get some more hits in. I'm going through a pretty important room here that could be quite dangerous. I'm going to play safe, because I screwed up. If you play this room wrong, then bad things will happen. What I was doing there, by the way, is intentionally not going for what's called slide chains, which I forgot to explain, but they're the main form of movement for most of the game. Wherein normally your slide will die out after about 2/3 of a second, but if you rhythmically press the button about once every half second, you can actually continually slide without breaking it. However, that means that because the slide button is the same as the jump button, if you go early, then you will jump. And in the case of that poison room, if I were jumping, well, I would just jump straight into poison, which pretty much kills me, slowly. So yeah, have to be quite careful there. I generally don't risk slide chains in that room, unless I've got nothing to lose. Also, most of the bosses in this game don't actually, or not just bosses, but like enemies in general, don't actually have any canon names. So we just tend to call them the guy, pretty much. Like, we'll just refer to like the guy, and depending on context, that'll make it clear who we're actually talking about. There is a save point to the left there I could take, but I'm feeling a bit risky. I'm gonna wait for this guy. The ruins, warp runes, tend to be quite short. So even if we get a lot, it doesn't matter too much compared to some other areas. This was a little bit long. Whoops, I made a mistake there of trying to attack with Lilacs when Lilacs was actually already out. I should have attacked with the guitar there. Okay, we're having 4+ rooms in this one. Okay. This is a special room. I tend to refer to that as the Axeman room, and I will probably refer to that as 3+ Axeman instead of 4 rooms. Because, as you might have noticed, that room's really short, and some rooms, most sets of walk rooms have 1 or 2 rooms that are really short, like only 1 screen long. In that case, we actually also need to kill those axe guys for a drop that we're trying to find. Unfortunately, I didn't get it in that case, but you can get it. But yes, this is the 3rd and final time of fighting this guy. And that's it. There is actually a demo for this game, and that is where the demo ends, as soon as you kill this guy. It's interesting that they decided to end the demo in the area where the only area where you have to fight the boss 3 times. It kind of misleads you into thinking the whole game's going to be like that. But no, it really is just that area. We've rescued Carnival now, who is also very situational like Chica. She doesn't do too much, unfortunately. Those are some pretty good drops we just got. Linzer zum Zielen, or Ailing Lens in English. Those could possibly let us make a really helpful item if we get some other drops as well. Now we're in Sunken Volcano, and this is one of the hardest early game areas. It's a really dangerous area. I got enough health to damage boost here, but only barely. When you deal damage, the amount of damage you deal is randomized, but the same goes for the damage you take. So, while you can crit enemies and kill them faster than you're supposed to, you can also be crit by enemies and take way more damage than you want to. So there's a sense of risk in most things you do in this game. And in fact, I say risk is one of the best ways to... It's one of the best words to describe running this game, because, really, the best players in this game are the ones that take the most risks and get away with them. This is a rather long room, unfortunately. Actually, no, I was confusing it for a different room. No 2 rooms yet. One of the rare Kanan rooms. I actually get to use her. Oh dear. Okay, Okay, I would have liked that to be the last room, considering I'm fairly low on health now. Oh no, it's this one. Not a fan of this room. Oh wow, we got 5 rooms. Terrible RNG. Okay. Yeah. And I gotta be really careful, because pretty much any hit here will kill me. Thankfully these guys throw in an arc, so I'm safe here. But yeah. Yikes. I lost about 53 seconds to my gold there. Just to give you a sense of how bad it can get sometimes. And that save point I just took, that is one of the more costly save points to take. You don't have to take it, but considering I'm like very low on health and this next section is quite dangerous, I really want that extra health. Because we've still got no equipment pretty much. Anyway, we're back to the axe guys. Nice. I got one. Okay, I got one. Fragment einer Großaxt, or Great Axe Fragment in English. Oh god, that was not intentional. Really messed that up, okay. Okay, good, that guy's gone. Very off script there. Anyway, Great Axe Fragments, we need 3 of them. Wait, 3 or 2? I actually can't remember. Oh no. I think you need 2. I can't believe I actually forgot that. Okay. That gives a sense of how much I've de-rusted this game. That will be fine. Anyway. Oh no, yes, it is 3. I remembered. It's okay, I've got it back. Ah, didn't quite get that. That's a new strat I've been working on. I say working on as if I've been, you know, in the lab, really testing it out. It's a minor time save, where I try to stall in the air with an attack to avoid taking damage there. Didn't quite get it though. That's okay. I'm looking out for Great Axe Fragments, of course, but there is one other drop I'm also looking out for in this first third of the run. First half of the run, kind of. Oh, actually I have another chance here in this room to get a Great Axe Fragment. Nice. Okay, we've got 2 now. We have a pretty good chance of not having to farm for Great Axe Fragments later on. Because there is kind of a deadline by which we need them. The other drop I'm looking for, which can be found in these green pots, is... oops, sorry. Is Tide Lights, or Gezeitenlicht auf Deutsch. And it can be in pretty much any of those green pots, but also any pots in other areas. So... and they can be quite elusive compared to Great Axe Fragments. They're often like make or break an early game. That is if you have to farm for them or not. I'm gonna be a bit safe here and take a save point. I don't normally take this one. So we need 5 Tide Lights by the end of the next area, pretty much. I completely forgot to mention, but at the end of Volcano we got the ability to double jump. The entire reason why we do that first trip to Volcano is to get the double jump ability. Because this area is not possible without it. What we're actually going to do now is head back to the Fortune Parlour, which is... it's Yohane's home, but it's also a shop for potions. And we're heading back here because there are some potions we'd like to get. Namely an Offense Talisman and some greater healing potions. And what we're also going to do here is take the time to Handwerk. Yes, nice, we have that item, that's very useful. Also use our talisman. So our talisman will, as you might have guessed, increase our attack power. And that item I got is actually very helpful. I'm very glad I got to create that. Analytic Spectacles, or Brille des Analyticus, which will not only provide us more health and DP than any other item we can get at this stage, it actually also increases our critical hit rate, which is really helpful, as you might guess. Speaking of which, I'm actually about to die here, so I hope I don't do that. Anyway. We just rescued Dyer, who is kind of just a better Lilaps in most aspects. Oh, my slides were not working. That is odd. Yeah, Dyer's pretty much just Lilaps but better. She can do more hits in a row, and she also hits harder. And faster. So she's pretty much our new early game attacking option. You have a rare Chica usage here. Oh god. I'm fine, I think. What we just picked up is an extra accessory slot, so I'll craft something to fill that slot in a bit. Right now, though, Whoops, accidentally did a slide into that enemy. Thankfully we just picked up our third fragment right there, so I actually don't need to bother killing the other guy. So we're actually completely fine for Great Axe fragments, but I know we're struggling a bit for Tide Lights. Also struggling a bit in general, I've just taken a lot of damage. I'd really say, and I think this is quite a common opinion among the community, that Shipwreck is really what makes or breaks a run, and I really was hoping to not get this room. Shipwreck can really make or break a run. I gotta be really careful here, I might die. Because this is a very difficult area early game. Enemies hit really hard. And also, it has the most important RNG in the run. Playing a bit safer than I would like to, just because I don't want to die. And it's a really long room. Lilacs is quite good for this room. The instance in which you might still want to use Lilacs after getting Dire is because she has quite a large attack range, which for these yellow guys that die in one hit is quite useful. It's quite useful to dispatch of them quickly. Thankfully that's the end of it. Messed up my movement a lot in that, but fine. What we're going to do now is have a look at what we can possibly make. Ruby Ring is another very useful early game item. It's pretty much... Ruby Ring is pretty much the best thing you can get if you can't get Analytic Spectacles. But of course you can get both. Actually, the rarest one you can get is Double Spectacles, which is exceedingly rare. I've actually never had it myself, but... yeah. Double Spectacles, if you get that, you are pretty much set for the whole run. But yeah, I'm pretty much now just looking for Tide Lights. I'll break a couple crates that contain them on my way here. If I was still looking for Great Axe Fragments, I would kill that guy, but I'm just going to boost through him. This is a pretty dangerous area. We need to... pretty much need a health potion in reserve for this area, unless you've got quite good defense, which I do, but I'm not going to risk it still. Yeah, that might have killed me if I hadn't drunk that potion. Right, so what we do here is we have a look. How many do I need? I need 3 more Tide Lights. That's not very good. So what we can do here is basically farm for Tide Lights. And I actually just picked up one. I just need 2 more. Pretty much go back to this checkpoint as much as we need to until we have Tide Lights. Rinse and repeat until I have them all. Thankfully I actually just got all of them. Believe me, that can take way longer than that. So we now have the Buster Sword, which is the best weapon in the game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it is the best weapon in the game, and you can get it this early. Which is kind of busted. No pun intended. I waited to use my talisman now, although I think I can actually get away with using it early, but waited to use it there because you can only actually deal damage to this boss in its core phase, like it's in right now. When it's in the Reaper phase, you can't actually deal true damage to it, and you need to knock it into the core phase. I'm attacking really slowly here, so I'm not going to get a 2-cycle, which you would really like to get. Especially if you have the Analytic Spectacles, you can kind of expect to get a 2-cycle. Wasn't very close there, Eden. Oh well. Yeah, 3 cycles the next best thing. It's what you usually get. Right, we now have Best Girl, Hanamaru. They also call her Laptop Chan. I don't know why yet. Yet to find out why they call her Laptop Chan. Maybe you'll find out. We're going back to the parlor here because after you rescue a partner, if you go back to the parlour, they will activate a quest that you can go and do. Which basically, those are the upgrades in all upgrades. An item will spawn in a dungeon that you need to go pick up, and once you give it back to them at the parlour, it will unlock a new ability for them. Look at this not suspicious laptop here. Okay, I mean, here's that laptop she wanted. I don't know why they call her laptop chan now. Also going to do second quick shopping trip here. For marathon safety, I'll pick up an extra health potion compared to what I normally do, and we also pick up 2 talismans as the standard. So now we're back in Volcano, because pretty much every area has a boss that we need to beat. We never actually beat the boss here, because we were really weak. But now we're strong. Because we now have the power of Buster Sword, the best weapon in the game, and also a not suspicious laptop. Yet to find out what it does. The funny thing is that the game loves to shower you in tide lights after you stop needing them. Oh, I need to be careful here. I will take the save point for safety. I'm not really looking to play risky because I've already lost a lot of time in this run to RNG. But okay, this is one of the most important bosses in the run. This is the Lava Worm. Should I use a talisman? So what's that laptop do anyway? Oh, okay. Oh, of course I get this attack. He could do one of 3 attacks here, and he did the worst one. That's annoying. So yeah, basically, Hanamaru has a laptop, and she's really bad with technology. And that's what happens when she tries to use it. Although you can also detonate it remotely with, not remotely, detonate it by yourself with the Buster Sword. And that is pretty much the best way to attack. It's the single strongest attack in the game, though the cooldown often means it's not always worth it. And also the fact that it has a very high DP cost. It is the single most expensive thing in the game in terms of DP cost. So if you use a bunch of laptops in a row, you are going to be draining your health really quickly. But anyway, now we're into my favourite area in the game, Sea of Trees. And what I'm doing actually, that whole sequence there where I immediately left Shipwreck after getting Hanamaru is actually part of a fairly new route that pretty much we used to do Sea of Trees in kind of 2 broken up segments, where we would come here and pick up a save point first time after beating the Shipwreck boss, and then come back and finish it later. But now we tend to do it all in one trip. It's quite nice because often after the Shipwreck boss you'll be on quite low health, and it gives you the chance to actually enter Sea of Trees with full health, because the path to the save point that we used to get is quite dangerous. And it also actually saves 1 second when done optimally, which is less important. We just picked up Dire's upgrade, because we did go back to the parlour after we got Dire, so we can pick that up. Somewhat of a sequence break here, which I missed. Again. Oh wow, okay. I swear I usually get that first try. Yeah, you can skip a whole puzzle you're supposed to do there by using Kanan. Saves about 10 seconds when you do it optimally, but I messed it up 3 times. Anyway, we're coming up on Sea of Trees warps now, which are some of the most polarizing warps in the game. You've got some really long rooms here and also some really short ones. This is on the average side. And you can attack enemies through the ground, which is nice for this room. This is a rather short one. I'm so lucky that worked. I thought I was going to switch to Lilaps. I forgot that Hanamaru is before Lilaps when I'm trying to switch characters. And that almost killed me. Oh god, speaking of nearly dying, panic, panic, panic. Okay, we're fine. That was stressful. But we're fine. Save point. We're okay. Going back to the parlour here, not actually to buy anything, but because we want to return Dire's item to her. Because this is the other best attack in the game. Kind of the holy trinity of the Buster Sword, Laptop, and now Scarlet Delta. Which for this section we'll just be using it to get some pots. I shot it the wrong way. That's how it's supposed to look. I say pots, I mean crates. They do the same thing. Pretty much just attack the sweet straight across the screen. It's not stopped by anything. It's very helpful. It also hits quite hard. So, want to use a talisman here again. So we'll be using Scarlet Delta for this boss instead of the Laptop, just because it can attack so much more quickly. Also costs less DP. You might notice now, if you look in the top left, I'm actually down to 0 health, or specifically 1 health. That's because, as I mentioned, if you run out of DP, it will start draining your health, but it won't actually kill you. It will just put you down to 1 HP, which means, hypothetically, and in practice as well, you can actually just wail on bosses as much as you want. As long as you don't take a hit, you can do as many attacks as you want without having to regenerate your HP. Just going back to the parlour there to pick up Yo's quest. And up until now, the route we've been doing is actually the exact same as any %. Like, that is exactly what you do at the any % speedrun. Until now. We're taking a detour now because we want to pick up Yo's upgrade. And we're getting it earlier than we're intended to, actually. You're supposed to get this upgrade a bit later in the game. Actually, it's one of the last ones you're supposed to pick up, but you can pick it up right now by doing a bit of a sequence break. There we go. There's pretty much only 1 frame to time that shot. It can take a while sometimes. That's not the only part of the sequence break, there's also this. Whoops. Use Carnon to open that from the opposite way, and just like that, we now have Yo's upgrade. And compared to any %, this actually completely changes how the second half of the run works in some areas. Because, so to summarise, because we haven't actually seen her normal version of her ability yet, Yo is our new fastest way to move in some situations. Because, you know, she just literally shoots us across the screen. It's really fast. The upgraded version takes us a step further by actually allowing us to shoot through any enemy, and additionally any hazard in general. So even like stage hazards we can go right through. I've just realised I forgot to grab an item, but that's fine. I just looked at my splits and I wondered why I golded by 40 seconds, and that's because I forgot to do something. That's fine. This run wasn't PB pace, not by a long shot. There's actually an item we need to grab here. Specifically Rico's item, who I didn't actually mention Rico at all, but she is this one, the one that has fire. This is her ability, or her upgrade rather. It's kind of just there, you don't use her very much. She's another one like the situational ones. Okay, now actually back to the warp rooms. Lost about 30 seconds having to do that detour, but that's fine. Ah! Sometimes taking a single hit can be really devastating if that happens, and you fall all the way down. Still no 2 rumors in this run. Okay, 3 rumors, not bad. Just a little bit more to do here. This is the last time we're seeing Grotto in the run. And this takes us into Coral Hill, which is one of the easiest areas in the game, to be honest, despite coming so late. The enemies here aren't very powerful, and that's because you know, there's no official world order, but you're probably supposed to come here earlier than this. Nonetheless, there is another sequence break we do here. Not really sequence break, actually, just a way to get through the area faster. I went too high. There's a setup for this. That should work, yeah. You're not supposed to be able to go through those gaps, we think, but you can do it with Yo. And yes, Yo's name is spelled You, the same as, you know, the second person pronoun in English. Try not to get confused. It definitely does get confusing, especially when you also think about the other Love Live girl who's called You. That is, YU, but pronounced You. Try not to think about it too hard. Anyway. Yeah, Coral Hill doesn't have too much going on, really. I did actually pick up a save point at the very beginning that I will need to come back to later. We wouldn't pick that one up in any percent unless we, for some reason, had low health, which never happens because the previous section isn't very difficult. This room here can be quite dangerous in any percent where you don't have upgraded Yo, but upgraded Yo makes it super easy. And just like that, we're at the boss. No talisman for this one, just going all in. And this boss is really a pushover. It's a sitting duck in most instances. You can literally just crouch and dodge most of its attacks, and it's gonna die like right now. It's a complete pushover. Even casually, it's not too hard. Just like that, that's Coral Hill done. And we rescue another partner who doesn't really do very much, unfortunately, Ruby. Her ability, not that we're really going to see it, is to give you a shield, but we don't really need that. We're better than that. Anyway, one of the last areas in the game, Crystalline Grotto. I blanked for a second because I almost forgot the route, but it's fine, I remembered. Not too much going on here until we get to the warp rooms. Normally with the normal version of Yo's ability, you get stunned after you stop, but in that case we were in a one tile hole, so it didn't actually stun us at all. And I just went out of my way to get, I believe it's called the Ripple Shell, which is an item that we're going to need later. It's a crafting ingredient in something. And that's really one of the only detours we have to do here, normally. I do believe in situations like this where you just shoot at a wall, it is slightly faster to use upgraded Yo compared to normal Yo. Whoops. Now, Crystalline Grotto warps tend to be fairly short overall. Really depends what we get here. The rare Rico room. Still no 2-roomers. We've got one chance left to get a 2-roomer after this. And upgraded Yo really breaks a lot of areas in this game because you're supposed to do some stuff there, but you can just do that. I'm going to go take this save point quickly and go back to the parlor, because I haven't actually gone and activated Ruby's quest just yet. And at the same time bringing Rico's item back. So we now have Ruby's quest active. And we're gonna go get her item right now. Really long slide for some reason. Honestly, not too much going on here till we get to the boss. This section becomes a cakewalk. This room becomes an absolute cakewalk with upgraded Yo. Normally you gotta, you know, do a whole bunch of stuff. You know, using Scarlet Delta to wipe those guys out in any percent, but no, all upgrades you can just do that. And now I'm gonna be a bit risky here and not actually take the save point. I'm feeling adventurous. If I die, I'm going to look like a fool, but I shouldn't. This boss isn't too scary if you know what you're doing. Again, we're not using a talisman for this one. I want to get 4 sets of hits in each of these first 2 attacks. The third one is where things get shaken up a little bit. Get 2 bikes out, and a third bike. I am now on 1 health. This attack is quite scary, but is also very close to death at this point. Of course, due to the varying attack power, the varying attack damage you deal, bosses don't always die at the same time. But you can kind of predict when they're going to die. What I'm going to do is go back to the parlor yet again, because we've just rescued our final partner, Mari, who unfortunately also doesn't do very much. A lot of the partners are like that, to be honest. You only really use a couple regularly in Speedrun. We're going to do a round of backtracking now, because there are some upgrades we never actually picked up, but we need to quickly go and get. So the first one is Karlan's upgrade in Sunken Volcano. It's a rather short backtrack, only a bit over a minute for this one. There was one rather smart strat here that I came up with, which is to use Hanamaru's normal ability to destroy spikes, and then actually let her go off screen. So basically by going off screen I can then use my next partner earlier. And just like that, we're almost already done with this section. There we go, there's Carnival's item. Unfortunately not very useful. Go back to Coral Hill now. Another very quick backtrack here. And we actually needed to get Ruby's item in Crystalline Grotto to do this. one instance in the run where we use Ruby. Her upgraded attack, or her upgrade basically means that her shield malfunctions and then starts eating stuff. I don't know why, but it happens, I guess. Almost done with these backtracks, we just got one more tiny one to do here. So I'm getting my character switches all messed up. You switch characters by cycling through them. The way I have it set up, I press the shoulder buttons to cycle through them. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in what character you're trying to use. You do learn the order fairly quickly once you start running this game. But yes, we do now have all the character upgrades available. And we never went to this room originally, but this has kind of had a stone slab with all of the bosses' portraits on it. And now that we've beaten all the bosses, it opens up into Infernal Altar, Villain Altar. So this is, as you might expect, the hardest dungeon in the game, or intended to be. We do have one final item we're looking out for here, which is, it's imperative that we get it. One of the really nice things about Upgraded Yo is that she actually breaks pots with her as well. This should get in. Nice. This is a little safety save point you can take. You don't need this one, but it can be helpful if you don't get the item. It's much quicker to get it if you end up not getting the item, but ultimately it's faster to try your luck out. Not send it just yet. Oh, there we go. Orichalcum. We need Orichalcum. We need 2 Orichalcums in the duration of this dungeon. Pretty much before we get to the Warp Rooms, we need to get 2 Orichalcums. Get quite low on the ground there to break a load of pots. Not looking too good yet. Wait a little bit there, because there's a frost thing there. If we touch that, we're going to be frozen and have a bad time. So, Orichalcum Forecast is not good. I can still get it, but we've exhausted about 2/3 of our pots now. So, this is when you start getting concerned if you're on a good run. Fortunately, this run isn't, like, amazing, really, for my standards. Had a decent bit go wrong, and I'm a decent bit rusty as well. Also, my health is really low, but I do have a backup potion or 2, should I need them. In fact, this next section is quite scary. Oh, nice, we got it. I will quickly use one, for my safety. Next section can be a bit scary. You need to make sure to land on that platform before you shoot there, otherwise you won't get a double jump. Still going to be breaking these pots anyway, because we need money. That's kind of our last thing. But yes, Yo... Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Thank you for not killing me. I had a high chance of killing me if I did not use my potion. Panic. It's easy to panic sometimes at this part of the run. And no 2 rumors in this run, unfortunately. That's really not good RNG. I'm gonna play this really safe, because I have pretty much nothing left. I would never usually play this so safe, but it's imperative that I don't die. Thankfully it adds to the last room. Wahoo! So what we do now is we're going to look for some money, and I'm going to farm a tiny bit of money, just because this is a marathon run. I want to farm a little bit of cash. We don't really need that much, like 15,500 usually suffices, but this will do. It's a very good place to farm money right here. Those pots always have money in them, and there's a save point right by them. So this doubles as our final shopping trip and our opportunity to return all these items that we found. What we want to do is we want to pick up one of every offense talisman. So a normal, an EX, and a prime talisman, which is the strongest one. You really don't need those health potions as well. Like, you really only need talismans, but I'm going to play a little bit safe. Right, what we need to do now is not forget to craft this. Which is a hot-blooded bell. And it is the ultimate glass cannon item. I've just realised I forgot to use my offense talisman. Oh no! Oh, that's so lame. I'm fine, I swear. That is just a really lame way to lose that. Ugh. Okay, I can explain what happened there. That's why I was trying to avoid dying this whole run, because if you die, and you have the musical score active, that is the thing we picked up at the very beginning of the run in Central Temple, you end up using it. Unfortunately, I just used it right before I wanted to actually use it. That is a shame. That ultimately happened because I forgot to use my talisman for Cthulhu. I would have killed him sooner, but I got unlucky and he sniped me right before he died. I mean, I'll get a little bit of the benefit here. Effectively, the musical score gives you crits on every single hit, and it also refills your health and DP fully, and you furthermore cannot drain DP while you're using it. So what you want to do is use it in this little boss rush section to great effect. Unfortunately, I screwed up and can't do that now. That is to say, precisely you want to use it in the second half of the boss rush, but I screwed up. But, oh well. I was really hoping I'd get the whole run without losing that. Well, regardless. Yes, this is a boss rush, pretty much. And yes, when I said we fight that guy 3 times, I actually lied. We actually fight him 4 times. I've used my basic office talisman here, because I forgot to use it on Cthulhu. Nice. I'll wait until this base offense talisman dies out. I feel like I'm got 1 less base talisman than I would like at this point. I feel like I'm missing one, and I can't shake that feeling I'm missing one. But I'll see. In fact, I think I'll actually use my EX talisman here. No, let's have a look what I got. Okay, actually no, I'll wait. Oops, I shot too early. This guy's a pushover again. Okay. That's one of the only attacks where you actually have to move. Still not very threatening. Right. Back to the Sea of Trees boss. Yeah, I'm actually going to save my EX talisman for Cthulhu. To be honest, I can use it on this next boss and be fine, actually, so that is what I'll do. It should last until Cthulhu. So this guy should go down fairly quickly. yeah, that was a complete waste. My DP usage is so high that it actually has already drained all of that health I regained. Okay, I've got to be really careful with Cthulhu, because when you do the last hit, he will pop out of the ground, and in the case of the first fight, that resulted in him getting a surprise attack on me and killing me. I'm gonna wait and play this extremely safe. Nice, okay. Once he comes out of the ground, you can do any single attack to kill him, so a single slash of die is the fastest. But just like that, we're done with the boss rush. Unfortunately, a fairly slow boss rush, because I did not have my musical score. But what can you do? And with that, time's going to come up in about 40 seconds from now, just as a rough estimate. I was torn on whether to do the normal any percent strat or the all upgrade strat. I'm going to do the any percent strat because it's flashier. So this is Coelacanth, the final boss, also known as Handfish, for obvious reasons. Going to be killing him with Hanamaru. Oh, nice. Timing is going to end as soon as I kill him, which could be right here, possibly? Nope. Not quite. Alright, I'll kill him immediately after this. Next laptop will be it. And time. Oh wow, I actually got a crit on that last one. If you get a critical hit on a laptop, you actually can one-shot a phase. But okay. That is a 55-46 on my end, which is, you know what, that's fine enough. Considering I lost the musical score, I don't think I really expected too much different there. With that in mind, I don't have too much else to say about this game, other than that it is a really fun game to run. I think Speedrun is an excellent speed game, I'd say. If you can put past your potential frustrations with the RNG, I think this is a great speed game, and I'd say if this interested you, I think you should definitely join the speedrunning Discord for this game. This game goes on sale sometimes, but it's fairly cheap to pick up. It's quite quick to complete casually, and even if that doesn't quite float your boat, there is a demo for this game that is completely free to get, and is a really easy speedrun to learn. But the full game is, I think, one of my favourite speed games, I'd say. I don't have too much else to say about this game. That was a 55, but my PB is a low 52, and you can actually go sub 50 in this category for sure. But yeah, not got too much else to say, so I think I'll sign myself off there. That is my last run of the day, but I will be back tomorrow morning for more. But that is me done.
Okay, thanks everyone again. We see us tomorrow to Donkey Kong Country Returns. And with that we can return to the intermission.